The Gemara in Brachos on Daf Hey Amud Beis establishes that there should not be anything between one that is davening and a wall. This is based on a pasuk in Yeshaya that says that Chizkiah turned his face to the wall and davened. Based off that, the Gemara establishes and rules that one should try to daven corresponding directly in front of a wall with nothing in between. And this, in fact, is paskin in Shulchan Aruch. Shulchan Aruch rules that there shouldn't be anything which is chotzeitz, anything which interrupts between when one is davening and the wall. In other words, one should daven right in front of a wall. However, Shulchan Aruch points out that anything which is firmly attached, or the poskim extend that to mean anything which, even if it's not firmly attached, but its typical place, if it's not moved, it's always in front of a wall. For example, a bookshelf or a closet, which is right between you and the wall, that is not an interruption because that is its established place, and that is considered as if I'm davening right in front of the wall. Similarly, Mishnah Berurah points out that anything needed for the sake of davening, for example, if one is using a table to hold their sitter or a shtender, and the poskim say that even if one doesn't use the shtender for their sitter, but it helps them focus by holding on to a shtender, that is considered, that's okay, that's not considered to be an interruption. Now, it's important to note that the Mishnah Berurah points out that this is all mitzvah min hamuchar. This is all the most ideal form of tefillah, of davening. However, this is not a halacha which in any way invalidates my tefillah. So if I'm not able to be right in front of a wall, I certainly should still daven. I certainly am still yotze. Certainly it's not a problem. However, mitzvah min hamuchar, the best way to daven is by davening right in front of a wall because it's much easier to have kavanah. There are much fewer distractions, and that's the ideal way to daven, if one is unable to do so. So the Mishnah Berurah points out, based off of the Taz, that one should look in their sitter or close their eyes, but one should not be, wandering and letting their eyes wander and surveying the room. The point is to stay focused and have as few distractions from the davening itself as possible. So certainly during this time when we are home, right, oftentimes if we're in shul or the like, that's not possible. So there's too many people. There's not enough wall space for everyone to have their own private wall. And therefore, it's okay to daven in the middle of a room. But again, to daven from a sitter or to close our eyes as much as possible to keep ourselves focused. So certainly during this time, when we are at home, right, it's ideal to try to find an area, try to find a wall space which is unoccupied, where we can daven to be able to best focus with the fewest distractions around. That's why oftentimes if one davens at a wedding or one davens at different public areas other than in shul, one will notice that some individuals try to find a private area, try to find a wall where everyone is davening for this purpose. So again, the ideal is to keep ourselves focused, ideally in front of a wall if one's unable to. So one can close their eyes or look into a sitter, but to try to find that place where it is easiest to focus and to concentrate on the words of tefillah. Now, it is important to point out, and hopefully we will discuss this in the coming days, there are other factors when choosing a wall. For example, are there pictures on the wall? Is there a mirror? So hopefully we'll have the opportunity to discuss those in the next few days. But in the meantime, one should try to find an area in which it is most conducive for them to daven b'kavana, to focus on their tefillah to the best of their ability. Have a great day.